The series Private Bodyguard begins with the story of Feely, an orphan girl who lives in an orphanage. She is known for her intelligence and humility. We see Feely taking care of the other children, preparing food for them. During this time, she receives a message telling her that her shift at the restaurant has started, so she goes to work. At the restaurant, she meets the manager, who tells her that Mr. Johan is waiting for her. When she takes his order, he asks her opinion about his hairstyle. She tells him that for the past 6 months, he has always asked her for advice, and that he doesn't have anyone at home to ask. He replies that he has 4 sons, but they don't understand these things, and that his wife passed away long ago. At that moment, the children from the orphanage surprise Feely by coming to the restaurant to celebrate her birthday. The manager gets angry, scolds her, and asks them to leave. However, Mr. Johan intervenes and defends Feely. After that, he takes Feely and the children back to the orphanage, where they are welcomed by Mrs. Ada, the director. It becomes clear that Mr. Johan has an interest in Feely. Later, Mrs. Ada talks to her, and Feely says that she wants to become independent and rely on herself. She doesn't want to wait any longer for her father, and she is willing to be adopted, so she won't be a burden on the orphanage. The next day, while sitting with Miss Ada, Feely receives a notification that she has been accepted into Bodhidharma School on a scholarship. At the same time, we learn that this is the same school attended by Chloe, Feely's childhood friend from the orphanage. The following day, Feely goes to her new school, which is a private school for wealthy and famous students. Suddenly, a car speeds toward her and almost hits her, but she avoids it at the last moment. 4 boys get out of the car: Raja, Jordan, Naver, and Helga. They park in a no-parking area. When another student asks them to move the car, Raja starts bullying him and almost hits him with the car. Feely steps in and stands up to Raja, throwing his keys aside. This makes Raja furious, and he decides to take revenge on her. In class, Feely introduces herself and notices that Raja is in the same class. She also sees Chloe, who is hiding her face and avoiding her. Chloe refuses to let Feely sit next to her. Later, Feely meets Elaine and Shania. Shania warns her to stay away from Raja and his brothers because they are dangerous and powerful, as their family owns shares in the school. She explains that Raja loves cars and is very smart. Jordan loves music. Helga plays video games. And Naver is the friendliest and loves playing pranks. While they are talking, Feely notices that her necklace is missing. They search for it but cannot find it. Later, Feely meets the 4 brothers along with Chloe, and they bully her. Chloe also helps them. Feely walks away, and Feely tries to hug Chloe, but Chloe pushes her away and asks her to stay away. Feely is confused by her behavior. Back at the orphanage, Feely tells Mrs. Ada about her bad day. She notices they are preparing a special meal. Mrs. Ada explains that guests are coming. Feely then learns that Mr. Johan is the guest. Mrs. Ada tells her that Mr. Johan wants to adopt her and bring her into his family. His sons turn out to be Raja, Naver, Jordan, and Helga. They are all shocked. Raja completely rejects the idea and storms out. Feely later finds Raja holding her necklace. She asks for it back, but he refuses and tells her he will return it only if she rejects his father's offer. She agrees. She then tells Mr. Johan that she cannot accept, apologizes, and leaves. Mr. Johan follows her and tells her not to worry about his sons, as they will accept her in the future. She asks why he chose her. He explains that he and his wife always wished for a daughter, but she passed away early. He says Feely is intelligent and respectful, and that her presence will bring happiness back to the house. However, Raja and Helga still refuse to accept her. The next day, Feely prepares to move into her new home. She says goodbye to Mrs. Ada and the children and goes with Mr. Johan. She is welcomed by the house staff and discovers that she has been adopted by a very wealthy family. Jordan welcomes her and shows her around the house and her room. Meanwhile, Raja and Helga begin planning ways to get rid of her. Later, Raja offers to take her shopping. On the way, he asks her to get out so he can park, but he actually leaves her and returns home. It starts raining heavily, and when he later finds her soaked, she realizes he abandoned her on purpose. Everyone gets angry at him. The next day, on their way to school, their father asks them to take Feely with them. Raja forces her to get out halfway, saying he doesn't want anyone to see her with him. She is late but manages to arrive on time. After school, Shania invites Feely to watch Raja's performance. They go, and Raja challenges Feely to ride with him in his car. He tries to scare her, but she stands up to him. This makes him angrier, and he tells her to leave their house. Back home, Raja tells Helga that Naver wants revenge on Feely, and they agree to help him. Helga cuts the power in Feely's room. Feely, who is afraid of the dark, panics and faints. They hear the noise but cannot enter because they don't know her room code. Jordan arrives, opens the door, and carries her. When she wakes up, she hugs Jordan and thanks him. Jordan asks his brothers to apologize, but they leave without doing so. The next morning, Mr. Johan asks Feely to quit her job and focus on her studies, but she refuses and says she can balance both. He asks about his son's behavior, but she does not complain. At school, the brothers thank her for not telling their father. Someone sticks a paper on her back. She later goes to Jordan in the garden, and he removes it for her. She gets angry and goes to her brothers, but bumps into a boy and spills coffee on him. He raises his hand to hit her, but Raja stops him and threatens him. The brothers arrive and protect her. Later, Naver and Helga fight with that boy and his group until a teacher intervenes. Naver later asks a girl for tissues, and another girl gives them to him. He becomes interested in her, and so does Helga. Raja continues to harass Feely at the restaurant where she works. He deliberately bumps into her and yells at her. Helga slips Raja's wallet into her tray, and Raja accuses her of stealing it. The manager believes him and fires Feely. Raja tells her this is only the beginning of his revenge. Feely walks away sadly. Jordan finds her and apologizes for his brother's behavior. He takes her to the mall, where they shop together, and feelings begin to grow between them. When they return home, Raja sees them together and becomes furious. He confronts Jordan and talks badly about Feely, saying that she entered their house and Raja says that Feely is pretending to be nice and trying to win their father over. She overhears him, steps in, slaps him, and says that she will leave the house so she won't cause problems. Later, Jordan meets Feely in the kitchen and asks her not to listen to Raja and to stand her ground. Because she likes Jordan, she listens to him and decides to stay. The next day, they are gathered for breakfast. Their father tells them that after eating, they will visit their mother's grave and introduce Feely to her. Raja gets angry, refuses, and leaves. At the cemetery, their father asks Feely to pray for their mother. This makes Raja hate her even more, feeling that she is taking his mother's place in the family. Later, Feely asks Mr. Johan to take her back to the orphanage because his sons have not accepted her. He shows her a video of his wife and tells her that they always wished for a daughter, but instead they were given Raja. He asks Feely to stay, and she is convinced. Meanwhile, Naver and Helga discover that they both like the same girl, which causes conflict between them. Raja plans to celebrate Feely's departure, but is surprised when she shows up and joins them for dinner. They notice the tension between Naver and Helga. At that moment, Raja returns Feely's necklace to her. The next day, Chloe shows her jealousy over Feely's closeness with Raja. She tells Feely that she loves Raja, and that Feely should stay away from him because he will never choose her. Feely reminds Chloe of her past in the orphanage, which makes Chloe afraid that Feely might expose her background. Later, Feely joins the cheerleading team. Chloe tries to get rid of her. During a stunt, Chloe lets go of her, causing Feely to fall. Raja sees this and runs toward her, but Jordan reaches her first and helps her. Raja confronts Chloe angrily, asking what she did. Chloe denies everything and says Feely fell on her own. Back at home, Naver and Helga are still fighting. Feely and Jordan make a plan to reconcile them. Jordan tells Helga that Raja wants to see him in the room. When Helga goes, he finds Naver there. The door is locked, trapping them inside. Feely tells them she will let them out after an hour. After talking, Naver and Helga resolve their conflict and agree to confess to the girl together and let her choose. Feely opens the door later. The next day, Jordan invites Feely to the art museum. Raja overhears and insists on going with them, clearly feeling jealous. Later, Naver and Helga confess to the girl they like, but she rejects them and says she is traveling and has no feelings for either of them. They are disappointed. At the museum, Raja reminds them that it is their father's birthday. Feely suggests doing something special. Jordan says he already told the chef to prepare seafood, which their father loves. Feely panics and admits she is allergic to seafood. Raja secretly calls the chef and orders a special seafood dish for her. During the birthday celebration, Feely eats without knowing the food contains seafood. Later, Jordan mentions that they will record their new song at a studio. Feely starts scratching her face, but says it will go away in a few days. Jordan later checks on her, and she asks him to take her to the studio. The next morning, her face becomes red from the allergy, so she wears glasses to hide it and goes with him. At home, Feely keeps thinking about Jordan. While singing, she falls asleep. Raja enters, sees her sleeping, apologizes for what he did, leaves medicine beside her, and carries her to her room. He realizes that he has fallen in love with her. Feely also notices his behavior and starts to suspect his feelings. The next day at school, some boys bully a girl named Davina. Feely hears them and decides to intervene to help her and prevent her from harming herself because of bullying. One of the boys hits Davina, and Raja steps in, telling Feely to take Davina away. He fights the boys and defeats them despite their numbers. The next day, the principal calls Raja in. He sees one of the boys who threatened Davina. He learns that Davina accused Raja of starting the problem and claimed he traumatized her, which made her unable to come to school. Raja is shocked and asks Feely to be called as a witness. Although Feely tells the truth, the other boy presents fake messages showing Davina asking him for help to get rid of Raja. The principal temporarily suspends Raja and Feely. They return home and plan to clear their names. They decide to visit Davina at the hospital. Meanwhile, Jordan signs a contract with a recording studio. Feely tries to enter Davina's room, but security blocks her, saying only family members are allowed. She manages to sneak in. Inside, she finds Kai, the boy who threatened Davina. He tells Davina not to return to school until Raja is expelled, or he will publish her photos. Feely secretly records his voice. When she leaves, security catches her, but Raja arrives and saves her. The principal summons Kai, listens to the recording, and expels him. Raja and Feely are cleared. However, Chloe sees them leaving together and becomes jealous and hateful, planning revenge. Later, they prepare for a field trip. On the bus, Raja sits next to Feely and tells her that since he helped her, she must repay him and do whatever he asks. At the destination, Raja tries to keep Feely close, but when Jordan arrives, she immediately goes to sit with him. They walk together in the garden. Raja looks for Feely and learns she is with Jordan. He cannot reach them by phone and calls Helga. Kai overhears them talking. Feely and Jordan get lost, and their phones have no signal. Raja searches for them. Their father calls Raja, asking about Feely. Chloe overhears and is shocked that he is concerned about Feely. Feely and Jordan run into Kai and his friends, who attack them. Raja arrives in time and protects Feely. He tells Kai to end their rivalry and become friends. Back at the dorm, Chloe approaches Feely and asks to be friends again. Feely is fooled and agrees. Chloe tells her that Jordan loves her and encourages her to confess. Despite her hesitation, because they are adopted siblings, Feely decides to confess. That night, Feely tells Jordan that she likes him. Jordan is shocked and rejects her, saying he has more important priorities and that his kindness was just normal behavior. Chloe secretly records everything and posts the video in the school group. Students start talking badly about Feely. Raja is the only one who continues to care about her. Feely accuses Raja of posting the video. He challenges her. If she proves he did it, he will do anything she wants. But if she cannot, she must do anything he asks. She agrees. They go to a quiet place together. Raja asks about her parents. She says her mother left her at the orphanage, promising to return, but she never did. She adds that her father is someone she never met and knows nothing about. After finishing her words, she goes back to her room, where she meets Chloe. Chloe learns that Feely went out alone with Raja, which makes her plan even more to embarrass her. Then, one of the girls comes and tells Feely that she has been chosen to sing at the school assembly, as the committee specifically requested her. At the assembly, Feely sings in front of the students. As usual, she hears teasing and bullying from others. However, Raja joins her on stage and sings with her, helping her avoid embarrassment. After the assembly, Raja sees Jordan and tells him, "Since you don't have any feelings for Feely, I've decided to get close to her." The next day, after returning from the trip, Jordan tries to help Feely carry her bag, but she keeps avoiding him. This continues all day. Feely finally decides to listen to his explanation and apology. At the same time, she receives an offensive video from an unknown sender. She gets angry and breaks a vase. Raja hears her, rushes in, and comforts her. He promises to help her find out who spread the video. However, Feely does not notice his feelings for her. They meet Hema, the administrator of the student group where the video was shared. With his help, they discover that Chloe was the one who posted it. This hurts Feely deeply, and she walks away. Raja asks if she knew Chloe before. Feely says they grew up together in the orphanage, but Chloe changed after being adopted and distanced herself from her. Later, they go to Raja's car workshop. He asks Feely to help him design new looks for some of his cars. Because she loves drawing, working together helps lift her sadness and brings back her smile. When they return home, Feely receives a message from Jordan. She goes to see him and finds that he has prepared a song for her. He sings it to her. She is the first person to hear it. He apologizes and asks if they can remain friends forever. She agrees, and their relationship improves. Later, Hema calls Feely and says he has a plan to make Chloe admit her mistake. The next day, they go to school together in the same car, trying not to be seen, since most students still don't know that Feely lives with them. Raja gives Feely a new phone and a new number, so she can escape the harassment and abusive messages she had been receiving. Chloe greets Feely at school, but Feely ignores her with a small smile and walks away. Hema sends Chloe a note asking her to meet him by the swimming pool. When she arrives, he is disguised, but she recognizes him. He tells her that if she wants him to stay silent, she must transfer 10 million. She agrees, admitting what she did. He records her voice and threatens her. He tells her that if she confesses to the principal, he will not release the recording. They go together, and Chloe admits her wrongdoing. He also makes her record an apology video for Feely, which he posts. Everyone learns the truth, and Chloe is ignored by the students. Later, Chloe goes to the orphanage and meets Mrs. Ada. She asks who adopted Feely, and learns that it was Mr. Johan. Chloe realizes that Feely was adopted by Raja's father. She follows them home and secretly films Feely entering the house with them. Meanwhile, Jordan goes to the recording studio and discovers that his manager deceived him and was arrested, causing him to lose his money. He returns home and tells his father. Feely supports him, but his father angrily calls him foolish. Jordan leaves upset. With Feely's help, Mr. Johan later apologizes to Jordan, and their relationship is repaired. The next day, Feely sees students gathered and whispering about her. A rumor spreads that she is Mr. Johan's illegitimate daughter. Raja and his brothers ask her if it is true. She is shocked that they believe the lies and walks away. Later, a man named Andreas appears. He meets Mrs. Ada and Feely and introduces himself as Feely's real father. He apologizes, explaining that he and her mother were forced to leave her because her mother was ill and he could not raise her alone. He says her mother has since passed away, and he was ashamed to return. He asks Feely to start a new life with him. She asks for time to think. He agrees and leaves his number. Raja and his brothers ask their father if the rumor is true. Mr. Johan tells them it is false and explains that he adopted Feely to fulfill their mother's wish for a daughter. Despite everyone trying to contact Feely, she refuses to respond. The next day, Feely decides to move to another city to live with her real father. Raja calls her and asks to meet at his car workshop. She tells him about her father and her decision to leave. Raja is shocked, not only because he is used to her being around, but also because he has feelings for her. He supports her decision and says he is happy for her. She notices that he has used her designs on one of his cars. He then starts teaching her how to drive. While teaching her, he hides his sadness, knowing she will leave soon. Later, the family gathers to say goodbye to Feely before she leaves with her father. She says farewell to Mr. Johan and his sons and departs. On the way, Feely falls asleep in the car. Her father wakes her and tells her they have arrived at a villa where they will stay for 3 days before moving to another city. Inside, Feely realizes she lost her phone. Her father tells her not to worry and promises to buy her a new one. She remembers the phone Raja gave her. The next day, she messages Raja from her new phone to say she is still in the city. Her father notices the phone and asks about it. She says it is a backup phone. After leaving, her father orders his men to watch Feely closely. Raja tells his father and brothers that Feely is still in the city. This makes Mr. Johan suspicious, and he orders an employee to investigate Feely's real father. At school, Jordan tells the others that Raja plans to confess his feelings to Feely while she is still nearby. The employee later gives Mr. Johan a file showing that there are 10 men with the same name as Feely's father, and one of them has a daughter named Faeli. This confuses Mr. Johann even more. Raja decides to go to the villa and confess his love. At the same time, Mr. Johann visits his wife's grave. He notices a nearby grave with the same name as Feli's father, increasing his suspicions. He calls his employee and asks him to confirm whether Andreas is alive or dead. Raja arrives at the villa and sees Feli guarded by security hired by her father. They prevent her from going out, so she returns inside. Raja waits and watches the house. Feli secretly sneaks out, climbs over the wall, and escapes. Raja sees her and helps her. They walk together by the lake. Raja confesses his love and says, "I love you." Feli is shocked and tells him she is moving to another city. Raja replies that he is willing to move to another country for her and do anything to be with her. She does not answer immediately and says she will think about it. They return to the villa, and Raja helps her sneak back inside without being seen. Suddenly, they hear her father talking on the phone. He says, "She is ready. The organs are excellent. I know her well. She is my niece and trustworthy." Feli hears this and runs away in shock. She runs away in panic. He quickly calls the guards and orders them not to let her escape. Feli gets into a car and tries to flee, but they manage to catch her. They take her back inside, lock her in a room, and tie her up. Meanwhile, Johann discovers that the man is not Feli's real father, but actually her uncle. He calls Raja and tells him to stay away because he is going to contact the police. But Raja refuses and rushes to the house. Raja overhears Andreas talking to a girl he plans to sell Feli to. He sneaks closer and sees Feli tied up. At the same time, his brothers call him and say they have learned about everything and will not leave him alone. He sends them the location. Raja breaks into the house and tries to free Feli, but a guard attacks him from behind and knocks him unconscious. They tie him up and leave him next to Feli. Soon, his brothers arrive and see his car outside. They climb over the wall and find Raja and Feli tied up. Jordan makes a plan. Helga pretends to be blind and enters the house, distracting the guards. When the guards chase him and Naver, Jordan sneaks in and knocks them out. They free Raja and Feli and escape quickly. On the road, their car breaks down. The guards catch up and chase them into the forest. Raja and his brothers fight them fiercely. At one point, a guard grabs Feli and puts a knife to her neck. She manages to break free, and Raja quickly knocks the man unconscious. Later, their father calls Jordan. Jordan tells him they are safe, but their car is broken, and they need another one. Mr. Johann says he will send a replacement. Meanwhile, the uncle sends Johann a threatening message, demanding money in exchange for leaving Feli alone. They return home and meet Johann. Raja overhears his father telling an employee that the money is ready. Raja tells his brothers he will follow their father to see what is happening. They refuse to let him go alone, and Feli joins them. Johann meets the uncle and gives him the money. The uncle threatens to keep demanding more. Suddenly, Feli appears and distracts him with conversation. He gets into his car to escape, but Raja and his brothers sabotage it. At that moment, the police arrive and arrest the uncle for fraud and extortion. Later, Feli, Naver, and Helga watch the news about his arrest. Naver turns off the TV and says the story's over and they don't need to think about it anymore. Helga asks Naver to buy a gift for Raja. Feli asks why, and they tell her it is Raja's birthday. Feli is sitting with her friends when Chloe approaches and asks to be friends again so she can invite her to Raja's birthday party. Shania intervenes and tells Chloe to stay away from Feli forever. Chloe insults Feli, saying that since she entered Johann's family, she ruined their reputation and caused problems. These words stay in Feli's mind. Because of this, Feli decides to refuse Johann's adoption offer, so she won't cause him trouble. She goes to Johann and thanks him for everything, but says she cannot stay and will return to the orphanage. She explains that she doesn't want to cause more problems. Johann tells her that none of this is her fault and that he respects whatever decision she makes. Everyone prepares for Raja's birthday party, but Raja only cares about one person, Feli. He talks to her and asks about her feelings, but she says she cannot accept him. When he asks why, she refuses to explain and walks away. Later, Raja finds her crying and sits beside her. He asks her to tell him why she rejected him and about her true feelings. She admits that she likes him, but says staying with him will only bring him trouble. He hugs her and tells her that he will always be by her side and support her no matter what. After the party, they return home, and are surprised to see the woman who had tried to buy Feely from her uncle. They wonder why she is in their house, how their father allowed her inside, and who she really is. All of this will be revealed in the next seasons. This marks the end of Season 1. Stay tuned for the new season with legendary scenes, cinematic summaries, and an epic story